Welcome to the second episode of our quick little Remakeables twofer. This time for Dredd
Uh-huh.
2012. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Howdy.
Um, we enjoyed the 95 flavor of Dredd last episode,
Uh-huh.
maybe somewhat surprisingly. And now we're gonna... I feel like this is the prime candidate for Remakeables season, because it's kind of like, it's not really a sequel, it's not really a remake, but it kind of is, but it's like a spiritual
Uh-huh.
thing, you know.
When I came up with the name Remakeables, there was two examples that I was thinking of at the time.
Okay.
This was number one,
Okay.
and number two was the Italian Job.
Ah, sure. Right. Um, yeah, so this one seems pretty interesting because I think the largest thing I know about this movie is everybody seeing it and going, "Oh, that was actually pretty good." This like
Uh-huh.
pleasured bewilderment of just like, yeah, all right, sure, okay, yeah,
So good news, bad news scenario
okay,
here. Most of the story of this is not from any specific era in the comics. That is something previous Dredd movie did. There was a couple of different story arcs kind of blended together to make like
uh,
one. As they do in comic book adaptations, please see the Marvel Cinematic Universe for examples.
please see all of them.
Mhm.
Yep.
This isn't based on any particular one, I believe. So even
Okay.
if you're a Judge Dredd like fanatic, then nothing in this is going to be like jumping out at you because it's pretty much thematically appropriate, but not like straight storyline ripped from the
Mm.
comics.
Yeah, no one will be like, oh, they did the Punishment of L.A. arc really well, and you're like, yeah, what? Cool. All right.
Uh huh. Exactly. Which punishment of LA sounds exactly like a Dread strip. I'm not gonna
Good.
lie. That's
Yes, I got it.
really, it's really well done. Um, but you know, you're never gonna see a sequel for this one ever.
Yeah.
People involved have said they'd like to, but it's never going to be a viable option because let's start with number one.
Hmm.
This is rated R,
Right.
and it is a hard R
Mm.
for a reason. Like
Sure.
the comic books were. It's a
Mhm.
very
Right.
I feel it kind of bad about this because I think this came out maybe 6 years too early for hard R's to be like big gangbuster sellers kind of thing.
Sure.
Um, like if we're talking like hard R's that made money back, we're talking like um, Deadpool, that kind of era
Sure.
of movie
And
is
the
like,
the
yeah,
thing we were
you know,
hoping out of Venom, where it's like you could have just get into that R and like just push it further.
yeah, but
Yeah.
at that point again though, is that a case of that came out too soon for the R rating to make money? Because I think honestly, I think Deadpool was the one that broke that train of thought where it's like, well, if you make it an R, it's not going to make any money. It's like, oh no, we're going to make all of the money.
That's right. Check this thing.
Uh huh. Well, is
Yeah.
that a Ryan Reynolds thing? That becomes the question then. Is like,
Right.
is he powerful enough to push it over the edge? So I do
Right.
feel like it's the downside is this, it is a hard R. It did not even come close to making its budget back American wise, which is
Hmm.
all anybody seems to pay attention to. Is oh, it only made 20 million in American. Yeah, but it did like 400 billion in like China and like Europe. So
Yeah, it looks like the budget was between $30 and $45 million, and box office made around 42 million back worldwide. So like it was right there.
uh-huh.
So
So we're probably never gonna see a sequel. This was
yeah.
also a 3D movie when it came out.
Oh my. All right, that's it's fully 2012, huh? Boy,
Uh-huh. So this was
goodness.
officially titled when it came out, I believe, as Dread 3D.
Oh
Um,
no. If you want to put that nail in the coffin, the largest nail in the Dread coffin, it's just like, it's a 3D movie, whatever.
yup.
Great.
So I will say I've never seen this movie in 3D, ever. 3D, ever. 3 d ever.
Yeah, that's probably nobody has, if I was to bet.
3
Yeah.
d 3 d
That's probably nobody has, if I was to bet.
That one, you know what? That would probably be my guess too. Wasn't it also 2012 was right when the movie theaters were like, maybe 3D isn't the way to go? Or was that right at the beginning of the 3D thing?
Oh, I'm not gonna remember, but I feel like it was fairly quickly. They were like, yeah, nah, never mind. If you do
Yeah,
have
that's
a
true.
if you do have a 3D TV and you would like to watch this in 3D, Amazon has it on sale for $8 on a physical
Uh-huh.
Blu-ray. You could just hook that up to your Blu-ray player on your 3D TV. There you go.
So normally I watch all of our stuff streaming because that's the easiest slash freest available option.
Right.
There's a couple of movies I will never do that with.
Mm.
This is one of them. I did pick up the UHD with HDR edition
Aha,
version of this
fantastic.
because I have a Series X and I'm gonna
Right.
fully utilize that thing with my like 6.1 surround sound headphones and get the most of this movie
Right, right.
because I feel like I need to.
Right.
So
Oh
what
man.
do you actually know about this other than cursed earth, megacities, the usual dread nonsense, which is still some of my favorite terminology in law?
The cursed earth. Um I know it I'm not sure if it's famously or infamously stars Carl Urban,
Uh-huh.
who I am a big fan of. I don't think I have seen him in anything bad, and yes, that extends to the Star Trek films. I liked him in those a lot. Um,
I also liked him in Doom, the Rock movie
I had
Doom.
no idea he was in there. That's wild. Oh man,
Uh-huh.
poor Carl Urban.
He's the guy who's not the Rock.
Okay, he's the other guy from Wham. Um, I know he's in it. Gosh, I'm struggling to think of because, like I said in the intro, the thing that I've heard about this movie is, yeah, it's actually pretty good. You should probably see it. It's not bad, and
Uh-huh.
that's I think maybe it. Maybe unsurprisingly, I have a lot of questions, but I think that's all my osmosis knowledge.
Okay, let's start with the cast. I'm not going to
Okay.
spoil anything for you,
Okay.
but you will be surprised about some of the cast in this, other than Carl Urban, obviously, because we know he is.
Right.
We should clarify, he is Judge Dredd.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah, I guess I didn't say that. Yeah.
um, the you might be surprised at the level of people that they got for this movie.
As
Um,
in maybe some people that are seemingly too famous to be in a Dredd movie in 2012.
yes,
Okay.
two in particular, which are the two biggest people I can think of. But honestly, you might not recognize one of them because he is a chameleon, and I didn't recognize him until it was literally pointed out to me who he was.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's exciting.
so I'm looking forward to that aspect of things. What do you think it will touch on? What we know the overarching themes of Dread.
Hmm.
What do you think it will touch on the most?
I think that's the thing that is potentially the most interesting to me because the I think the occasional satire uh, lean in the first movie was kind of surprising and the thing I wanted to see. I'm a little worried that this one might not lean that way. It might lean a little bit more towards the the violence and the darkness of the kind of dread mythos, the dread lore. Um,
Uh-huh.
and but I kind of expect it to be there is like a city block or something or an area that Dread has been sent to they'd probably use a word like pacify, something like that. Um,
It's a very Dread word. It
yeah,
100% is.
I was trying to think of like red terms. Um, uh, I feel like they'll probably have more of a with like a $30 million budget. As wild as it sounds, it'd probably be in more of a like contained kind of thing, like a, a smaller area rather than here's the entire Mega City 1. Dredd's gonna control the whole thing. That
Well, it
sort of
does
thing.
have the budget of like half of the budget of the one that was in 1995. It sounds
Right.
like.
And like the budget of like one television show on Netflix. So
Jeez.
one television show
Or
episode.
an episode of Friends,
Right.
Seinfeld,
That's
or
right.
Game of Thrones at some points.
Right. So that's my sort of my expectation, and I feel like um I'm kind of expecting it to not go down the satire route as much as maybe I would kind of want to see that. I feel like it might be leaning the other way.
Okay, okay. Was there any particular standouts from Dredd that you're hoping is the same in this, or similar, or better? Like,
Hmm.
for me, I adore the costuming in
Yeah.
1985 Dredd. I think the costuming in this is good. I just don't think it's as good as 95 Dread, mostly because I love the Warhammer 40k pauldrons, which are like 60 times too big.
Yeah, the like World of Warcraft druid pauldrons that they're rocking. I expect most of that stuff to be a lot more muted in this, and maybe leaning more towards the realistic, like body armor sort of thing, rather than here's a leotard with some sparkly, jangly stuff on it.
Yeah, that never clicked with me how bad that was until you pointed out where it's like, yeah, they don't have armor. And I was like,
Yeah,
holy crap, you're right.
yeah,
They don't.
they're not really wearing anything. Yeah, I sort of expect the gun to show up because that seems to be um, kind of an iconic part of Dredd's kit.
Come on, use its given name, please.
The Lawbringer one, Law Keeper, Oathcaster.
No, it doesn't bring. What does it do? It does something else.
Killer. There it is. Got it.
There we go. Yes, it kills the law. No, it's
Yep.
the law. It's the law giver.
The law
It
giver.
gives
The law hander outer. Number one. I expect that to
Thank you.
that's right. Curses. I expect that to show up because that seems to be like the thing. It seems to be the helmet and the gun seem to be kind of the iconic things. We might see some sort of motorcycle-esque thing. I think if you're going to carry something over, I don't expect it to be maybe the butt of a joke like it was in the 95, for better or for worse, maybe.
Yeah. So you're expecting a law master, but you're not. But you're not thinking it's going to be a big thing like it was in the last one.
No, I think it'll be like, yeah, he's riding the thing. You know, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. He needs to get to the place he's getting to. That sort of thing. I feel like my big question coming out of this one is, or going into this one is, does he keep the helmet on during the movie? Because 2012 Carl Urban was big-ish, not to the level of 95 Stallone, for sure. So is it one of those things where it's like...
Carl Urban he's been one of those, like, he's very much, and I pull this straight from Lord of the Rings, he very much reminds me of Viggo Mortensen, where they're just two actors who go way below the radar and just have knockout performances every time you see them. You're like, why aren't these people like huge celebrities?
Right.
Oh no. His name in Doom was John Grimm, my man.
All right, that's a pretty good Doom name.
It's fourth on his IMDb page.
Oh boy. So I feel like that's probably my big question of like, yeah, you put Carl Urban in the helmet, and I could see them sticking a little bit closer to the source material of, yeah, like we don't see him with the helmet off. Like, yeah, it's Carl Urban. Like he's a good looking dude, but like we're not going to do that this time.
I'll do you the solid. He doesn't take it off. He keeps it on the entire movie. My word. Carl Urban was also in Riddick as Vaco, the husband to Thandie Newton's character, which I just remembered.
He's in everything.
What the?
Man.
Okay. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Riddick. It was Chronicles of Riddick,
Mm,
where he was in.
right.
So that one.
I don't know if I can think of anything else. This one I'm kind of excited for because of the reception of it overall, and then
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I kind of clicked with the Judge Dredd concept, like the character and all the
You
stuff.
were almost immediately sold. Like it was
Yeah,
like, yeah, okay,
you tell
I'm
me
in.
that the world is called the Cursed Earth and they live in Mega City 1, and I'm like, yeah, man,
Which
that's
is
they made it for
basically
me.
just the entire Eastern Seaboard, by the way.
That's right. Like it's real. It's real good. So I'm kind of curious to see. Um, I do have some concerns about them in 2012 making it like a little too gritty and violent just to have a movie be gritty and violent. But I'm not opposed to that stuff. But I feel like you got to earn it a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure. I think this one I'm pretty excited to watch, just to say like the reception of this seems pretty positive overall.
Yeah. I really do quite like this movie. There's a
Hmm.
reason I literally went and bought the physical version, because I want to have bangers in my physical collection so that
Yeah.
when my internet is out, I can literally just go, oh, look, it's Fury Road. Let's just pop that in.
You,
Oh, look, it's Starship Troopers. Let's just pop
right.
that
You
in.
have your wall of only hits.
Yeah, and so far it's like 6 movies.
Right. Hey man, you but they're all 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I had to add to my physical collection. Very much similar to Starship Troopers, not because it's a perfect movie, but
Sure.
because I get down with this movie.
Right.
Um, and just to potentially simmer the pot down a little bit for you here, Boston,
Hmm.
a famous YouTuber worked on this movie.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Do I want to
I'll
know?
I will let you figure out when you've seen the movie. Don't let that overwrite your opinion of the movie, hopefully.
Well, it
But
depends on what YouTuber is. It is.
exactly, it
No.
does. It's someone I hate for no logical reason
Oh
other than the
god.
fact that I hate them.
Okay. Yikes.
Have
Interesting.
fun.
Yeah, poisoning the well a little bit here.
Uh-huh.
uh, yeah.
Dude, if it's a movie that I have high opinions of, you may have noticed I always simmer it down
Hmm.
just so you can go in as neutral as possible. Because I don't
Sure.
want to come in here and go, this is my favorite movie of all time. When we
Right.
get to the Mad Max season, that's going to be difficult.
That's fair.
Like, it's going to be difficult to not, like,
Right.
pump up 2 of those movies as amazing.
Right.
Um, This is, I think, a way above average movie. It personally means a lot to me. I also saw it at a tough time in my life. Then it kind of took an edge off a lot of stuff.
Nice.
I like it a lot, and I
Right.
know way too much about it apparently. But yeah, I want to simmer. I want to simmer your excitement down,
Sure.
just so I can see if it lives up to any expectations that you may have, or if it
Right.
exceeds what you
Right.
think is going in.
All right. Well, on that note, let's go watch the film.
Bye.
We are back. The second half here
Uh-huh.
of Dread 2012. In the interest of full disclosure, I watched an hour and 10 minutes of this movie, and then I got COVID, and then I watched 20 minutes of this movie. So Moon is probably going to be doing a lot of plot-related driving in this episode because
Uh-huh.
my memory of this is understandably a bit spotty. But I have watched the film. So I I kind of like how this opens of just
What, literally showing the cursed earth?
yeah, I like how both movies open where the Stallone one gets the
James
real
L. Jones,
James Earl
wasn't
Jones,
it?
yeah, like the real dramatic text crawl. But I like this one is just like, hey man, I'm Dredd. It's
Mhm.
bad. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
You know, like,
by the way,
yeah.
for the audio listeners, I apologize. For the video listeners, Boston, can you see what's right next to me on the desk over here?
Looks like a bunch of Judge Dredd books,
Uh-huh.
omnibuses,
I have
collected
gone
works.
down that rabbit hole.
Right. So I kind of like the introduction here of just showing the city. Like you just
Hmm.
need to show the outside, and you need to show the walls, and you need to show the buildings, and your brain is just like, yeah, man, that's messed up.
Hmm.
That's a real bad time.
And despite being completely different, like my first note for this is, oh, holy crap, I love the music in this one too.
Music is really good in this. Um, a lot is really good in this, but the music especially is very good. Um, I kind of like that they don't waste any time introducing what on paper is the dumbest drug name on the planet, but in execution is
Uh-huh.
actually really cool in slow mo. Um,
Uh-huh.
man,
So the question now is do you know which YouTuber worked on this movie?
no, I don't actually. I totally forgot all about that.
It was Gavin Free of the Slow Mo Guys and Rooster Teeth fame.
Oh,
He did
interesting.
all of the slow mo for this movie.
I gotta say, I really like that effect. I think if you were to just do slow motion, I think that would be fine. But having the kind of like
Rainbow.
oversaturated colors and the rainbows and the like shimmering effects and the sparkles and everything, I think all of that stuff together, I think makes a really great case for why you as someone who is like a Mega City 1 inhabitant would want to do this drug. Um,
Uh-huh. So
especially,
there is a cinema wins on this.
okay,
There isn't on the first one, unfortunately. And I think the way he phrased it is fantastic, where it's like, look, when you live in this kind of world, look at the euphoria and the positive vibes you can get from taking this drug and seeing all of this beauty because it is beautiful. It's
right,
absolutely gorgeous. It turns the world into something fantastic and amazing to look at.
yep,
And if you live in this world, I can see why.
yeah, 100%. And the thing I like about this movie that they do pretty consistently throughout is they're showing you all of that stuff. They sort of there's only one moment later in the movie where I sort of have an issue with that. But they do a really good job of showing you living in Mega City 1 just sucks, but there's no
Uh-huh.
like, Dredd isn't like, the only safety, this the only refuge for these miserable people is this new drug. He's just like, it's a drug, it's bad. I'm gonna follow
Uh-huh.
the law, blam, blam, blam.
It's illegal, so therefore I have to do
Yeah,
my job.
yeah, exactly. Even if you don't know what it is, it's probably illegal. Let's shoot some dudes. Um, Pretty good chase scene throughout the intro here,
Uh-huh.
and very quickly get introduced to his recruit that he is tasked. Number one, sad to see the building isn't in the shape of an eagle, which
Yes.
is a real bummer, but I get it.
I do like I do like this whole chase sequence though because it I can't remember the director's name, but it's very stylized. I love the way it's done in general.
Mm,
Like the fact that one of the car people takes a hostage, and you see Dredd walk into shot through a reflection
it's
next
a
to the
nice shot.
hostage taker. It's really good. I love the fact that he references, we've got multiple bodies for recyc, which is gross on so many
Uh
levels.
huh. And they don't explain it either, which I really appreciate. Pete Travis directed this movie. Uh,
So
didn't
good.
didn't direct
And
too
like
many other things.
Like I love all of that stuff, and I love the confidence when he's saying, "Yeah, these guys just took down an innocent. I'm going to take him out." And Control is like, "Well, do you need backup?" And he's like, "No." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right."
Yeah. I guess let's talk about, before we get to uh, his uh, his recruit here. How do you feel about his portrayal of Dredd in this?
I adore this
Yeah.
because I, th- not having read all of the comics, which is something I'm working on now. Um,
Point, point,
he's
point.
yes, he's always been somebody who follows the law to the letter
Mm-hmm.
because he believes in the system, but he's always had that little thing of if he doesn't believe it's right according to the law, he will go against certain things.
Sure. He can bend it a
Which
little bit.
yeah, but only the smallest amount,
Right.
like the most minuscule amount. And like I think that's part of what's hard to portray about Dredd is he is a by the law, by definition
Yeah. The
character.
letter of the law and never the spirit.
Yes. I think he slowly kind of transitions a little bit into more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to portray that character growth. I mean, the comics ran for like 40 years or something like that. It's
Yeah.
hard to get that across. And I think using the rookie storyteller, I think they do a fantastic job of the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. But I think he portrays it so well. His delivery of the line, which we'll get to, I think is
Yeah.
the best delivery of the line ever.
It's very good, yeah. Well,
And
go ahead.
like his it shows his instincts, which you
Mm-hmm.
never got in the Stallone thing. Like his instincts are to question everything, not believe anything.
Yeah.
And you see at the end of the movie where it's like, you called in the 1024, and he's like, two of us called it in. I'm wondering why you're not asking about the other one who called it in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like that's just instinctual, and it's really solid like play on how he's portrayed. I love this version of Brad. This is my favorite.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Carl Urban, I don't think, would be kind of my natural pick for this character. And I feel like there's maybe too many shots of him trying to do the famous, like, Dredd frown, which I don't know if you should chase as much because it's not a comic. But I think he does a really great job of sort of playing that. It's the thing you saw at the end of Judge Dredd, where it's like, I'm not going to serve on the council. I'm just going to go back to work. Bye. Beep, beep. Like this one throughout the entire thing is, we're here to do a job. We have not done that job yet. We're going to go do it. And then at the end, he says like, there's a drug bust. See you later.
Things
like,
went wrong. Yeah.
like just underselling it completely.
Waves
Like,
it off completely.
yeah.
And the thing I love about it as well is like the rookie is on like assessment. So he makes the rookie make the calls. Even if if it will get him killed,
Right.
he makes the rookie make the calls, like the gas mask and the stairs. It's like,
Mm,
look, this is the situation. You're on assessment. You make the call.
right.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is your like
Yep.
sentencing kind of thing.
Yeah, so speaking of the rookie here, Cassandra Anderson, played by Olivia Thirlby, who I hadn't seen since Juno. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. Playing the with some sort of mental powers.
Which again, it's described in a sentence, and the rest is left to your imagination.
Yep.
She grew up close to the border wall in a poor
Yep.
district. You think that wall's maintained? You think she's not going to be irradiated?
Yeah, exactly. Like you know how that happened. And there's some stuff later saying like you got off pretty lucky. Like you don't have a bunch of arms, you don't have a bunch of extra eyes. Like you got some cool powers. Like you worked out pretty well. I think it's interesting that Dredd is number one. I think it's really interesting that Dredd doesn't have a relationship with the like council of
The Chief
judges in this
Justice.
one. Yeah, it's just like here is a lady like 3 levels down that's giving the orders to Dredd, and that's just how it is, and he's fine with it. He's sort of
Uh-huh.
not super happy with taking on a rookie.
It's still a fail. It's
Yeah,
literally what he says. It's still a fail.
yep. I do like that he lets her pick what they're gonna do, like
Uh-huh.
as the very
Oh,
first thing.
uh, I love the one-liners in this movie. I think the one-liners in this movie are better than the one-liners in the
Oh,
last
for
movie.
sure, 100%. Because
Because
they don't
when
feel like
the,
one-liners.
no, when the Chief Justice says to him, like, yeah, take her out, give her an assessment, and um, throw her in the deep end. And
Hmm.
his response is all a deep end. Is
Hmm.
such a quality line.
And I feel like he does a really great job at a lot of the one-liners in this because they feel like him just telling the truth. Like he's not going
Uh-huh.
to sugarcoat it for anybody. He's gonna say like, "Yeah, man, it's all the deep end," and I feel like he could look into the camera as it was and be like, "It's all deep end, baby," like.
Yeah.
But it's not. He's just like, "It's tough out there, man.
Uh-huh.
We'll see if she makes it."
I
Um,
will give him credit. Like Carl Urban acts the hell out of his chin.
yeah, he
As
has
someone who you don't see his face once in this entire movie,
a fifth
minus
of
one
his
little lip,
face. Yeah,
and he does so much with so little, like just
yeah,
that
just the
little section of
goatee
his chin.
area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they hop on their little speeder bikes, and she says, "Well, got a little bit of an incident over at the peach trees. Let's go check it out." Um,
Mm-hmm. Which
and
yeah. Do we want to talk about the Mama introduction?
so first off, I want to talk about how genius the name Peach Trees is for the building. When you see that skyline and you see that urban sprawl and you realize that the name is called Peach Trees, it's like naming it like Palm Grove. Like there's nothing happy or inspiring about peach trees. Nevertheless, with it
Uh-huh.
being 200 stories. Um, but man, yeah, that introduction of Mama, which is a fine nickname for her. I get it that that's her name. Um, Maybe not the best like this is Mama's
Mm-hmm.
place, but just the level of commitment to an R rating in this movie is laid bare in we caught these
Mama's
guys.
story.
Yeah, let's skin them and toss them from the 200th floor. And oh yeah, before we do that, let's give them a little bit of slow mo so the fall can be a truly terrifying nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm sure it's beautiful, except for when you're falling to your death.
falling for hours on the
Oh,
200
that would be
stories,
the worst.
just terrifying. Um, Gotta say, Lana Haley just killing it like she always does
Uh-huh.
as Mama. Um,
Everything I've ever seen her in, she's amazing. Be it the
yep,
romantic lead, Queen Cersei in Game of Thrones, and in this, she takes that. She never yells. She never raises her voice.
yep,
But every action she has implies violence.
yeah.
Everything.
It's like
Her
kind of
just
like
standing
barely
there is.
caged feral animal. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really good, and just that introduction, the kind of like the almost business like just skin him and throw him over, but give him a little surprise along with it. It's just like, man, all right, this is just like another day at the office, huh, lady? Like, goodness, you just all right. Um,
But yeah, they head
the
out to Peach Trees to figure out what the issue is with the 3 murders,
Yep,
because who knows?
yep. Um, they through like a series of events, they meet the guy who is at Peach Trees. He runs the medical
Medical
facility there.
facility.
He's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like that. I like that actor.
Uh-huh.
I like that he's like the only guy who stands up to Dredd later on and be like, "Hey man, no, you don't get to just like make your base in the medical area. Go away. Also go to
Uh-huh.
hell. Bye." They arrest one of the
Yeah, they find out from the medical guy where the slow mo den is for
yeah,
for weird phrasing, and
Lomo Den.
and they head over there and take care of it. I
Yep.
do like the fact that Dredd ribs the rookie about lack of helmet.
Yeah.
She's like, a helmet interferes with my abilities, and he's like, well, I'm sure a bullet would do that more.
It's just like just as matter of fact to be like, I think a bullet would probably more like an occasionally pretty funny movie.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
they
this is the third major slow mo scene of the movie,
mhm,
which I think I think this is its best use because it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's amazing, and then it's horrific and violent
yep,
all at the same time.
yep. Um they arrest
Speaking of the R rating,
yeah,
that
yes.
sequence as a
Yeah,
whole.
there's a lot of just like slow motion in people's insides and it's like, oh boy, okay. Some pretty cool CG, I guess. Oh no, still going. All right, it's getting deeper in there. All
Uh-huh.
right. Um Once the smoke is cleared, they arrest Kay, who Anderson figures out with her kind of psychic abilities that he's the one that carried out the executions. I like that kind of like
Uh-huh.
wobbly.
The effect when she's reading the minds.
Yeah, it's almost like a lens effect. Like it's not
Like
like a
a
lens.
distortion.
Yeah, but it's when I got my new glasses, it reminded me a lot of that because my one eye is way weaker than the other one. So like you can kind of see that like weird halo fuzzy effect. I kind of dig that. Um, and it's I like I like that they are carting around Kay for what feels like nearly the rest of
Rest
the
of the movie.
movie of
Yeah.
just this guy in handcuffs being like, I guess, okay, you're not going to let me go. And I like
Yeah.
that
'Cause-
Dredd doesn't want to let him go because he's guilty. Like
uh-huh.
he's a perpetrator. Like why
Yeah.
would you just
Like
let him go?
I like the fact that he's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "99%." And he's like, "Well, can't execute on 99%. It's a shame that America doesn't go by this these days. I'm just saying."
Yeah.
Like, but I like the fact that like Mama finds out it's him, and rather than executing him, they're taking him away to be interrogated. And
Yep.
she's like, "Well, okay, I guess we better start war protocol."
So there's a lot to like here. We get introduced to Domhnall Gleeson's character, who
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming is the one you were referencing as you'll recognize him, but maybe not because they messed him up in this movie.
Yep.
People will probably remember him from something. I remember him from the Harry Potter movies
Uh-huh.
as
He's one of the
Bill
Weasleys, isn't
Weasley. Yeah,
he? Uh-huh.
I think he only shows up in like the last two movies, maybe.
I believe so. No, I know he's in Goblet as well because he's the one who brings the
Ah,
dragons.
okay. I haven't seen the Harry Potter movies in a while because I don't support transphobes. Um,
Uh-huh.
so you might also remember him from the most recent Star Wars movies as a general,
Yep. Uh-huh.
which I did
General
not
Hooks.
make the connection between those two characters as being the same person, which is wild. I really like how they did his makeup and prosthetics and everything in this movie of him
The
being
Cyber Eyes.
yeah, he's got the like huge black cyber eyes, the like almost albino white pasty skin, like that. When I
Uh-huh.
think of a hacker in like a cyberpunk or a future sort of thing, that's the thing where it's like you're getting food delivered to this
This
like
little box that you live in,
yeah, this
essentially.
windowless box on the 300th floor of something, and you make your money by hacking people's accounts, and you make a pretty good living. But you have not seen
Uh-huh.
another person in at least 15 years. It's
Yeah.
great.
My favorite part about him is it's never 100% said, but they do little quick flashbacks to
Yes,
him getting the eyes, and it's
it's
terrifying
it's
because he
real
literally
bad.
is forced to by Mama.
it's real bad, man. There was one flash later in the movie where I had to rewind it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm watching. On the second view, I was like, nope, yikes.
Now you do.
Yep, picked it up that time. Barf.
Mhm.
But yeah, I really like the social engineering he goes through when he calls to get the war protocol testing done. And he's like,
Mhm.
man, my supervisor's breathing on my neck. It's real bad over here, man. I'm getting fired. And it's like, all right, yeah, shut up. I'll just do it.
Yeah,
The,
and
the,
Mama is literally so into. Doesn't say a word.
just
Doesn't
hanging
say
out.
anything.
Just right
Just
there.
sitting there looking at him, and it's
Yep.
so intimidating. Like
It really
Lena
is.
Headley is amazing.
Oh man, just so terrifying. So they start the war, the war protocol, which locks down the entire thing. I really like the design of that giant, like open shaft down the middle of Peachtree, with the
Uh-huh.
sun coming through the top, and then the like blast doors
The
closing at
shutters
the top.
closing.
That's really great. Um,
The
I
vagrant is a shame.
it's just sitting in the wrong spot, man.
Although it tickles me. He's like, we told you to move. Now stand up. You come on with us, and then it's just
Yep.
like,
Yep.
it's like,
Hmm.
okay.
Yep. Yeah. Um. So at that point, um, I think it's largely. I like that it turns into this kind of survival film, where it's sort of like, all
Uh-huh.
right, we came in here, we caught the perp. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. There's like very clearly a turf war that has kind of finished, but kind of not. But maybe
Uh-huh.
that's not our problem for today. Let's get this guy back to the let's get him to the cubes. He's guilty. I also really
Yeah.
like the cubes, and how they
Well,
don't explain it. Um,
ISO cubes just to make it
the
more
ISO
interesting.
cubes, it's so good, man. Oh man, I love it. Thank you for making a movie where nothing that
Is ever
does.
explained, and you
Yeah,
don't
and
need it.
yeah, you don't need it. Like so many of these movies today are like the ISO cubes, and you'd have the rookie being like, ISO cubes, where are that? And it's like, hey man, they're probably isolation cubes. It's an R-rated movie. I
Uh-huh.
can probably figure it out. Um,
Yeah, and of course, why would the rookie ask that question? They literally just graduated from
yeah,
Dredd
she
school.
should know. Like he
Hmm.
could ask her maybe, but like, yeah, it feels really good. So I like that
Yeah.
this turns into kind of a survival thing of like,
Oh, she gets on the microphone and delivers that speech, right? And the
oh,
lights all come on, and it's just like, yeah, hey, there's two judges around. Like everyone in the clan, get
get him.
your crap together, get
Yep.
them. Everybody else, get out of the corridors, get off the streets, get back to your homes, and don't come out until the bullets stop flying.
I also like that she's like, if we catch any of you helping the judges, we'll kill 2 generations. It was like, jeez. All
Uh
right.
huh.
She's not, she's definitely not messing around. Like, that's how she took control of Peach Trees. All 200 stories of it. Um,
400, I think. I
it's
think it's
200
400.
because I remember, she's
Okay.
she's on the 200th floor. Because I've never seen it, but my initial reaction was, "Oh man, are you just doing like a Raid Redemption style movie at this point, where it's like I'm
It's
starting at floor one,
literally
every single floor, boom, boom, boom." Like,
so that's what when this came out, a lot of people give it flack for being too much like the raid. That's actually one of the categories this fits into because this is a remakeable season, and um, I originally had it in a twintermission season as the raid and this because a
ah,
lot of people were saying it was like very much like the raid.
gotcha. Um, I'm trying to think of what the standout scenes are here, because for most of the rest of the movie, it is,
It's action, go go
yeah,
go go go.
and like
It
it's
does
a,
it does have its breaths, like it
oh,
does
for sure.
stop, like so you've got the fight outside the medic center, um, which then
This is my
changes in.
one problem with this movie. I just want to call it
Okay.
out because we'll miss it here. And I don't have a problem with it in cinema overall, but I feel like it doesn't fit in this movie, is when the rookie kills the dude that's on the floor, the guy
Hmm.
with like the blonde beard. And
And they go to the apartment, and it happens to be.
yeah, I really don't like that. I wish they had cut out the part where she finds out that that lady's husband is the guy she shot. It just, for me, it's like the one small little trip this movie takes. I don't think
Mhm.
they needed to do this. Like, I think the rest of the movie is brutal enough, and like it, to me, it kind of doesn't matter that that lady is related to the dude that Anderson shot. The important part about that lady is you need to get off of my floor, which is such a
Yeah.
good, like, I think that's such an important delivery in this movie, is like, I need you to get off of my floor so that my family can stay safe, and like all of my friends and all the people around us can stay safe. You can be another floor's problem. Like, I think that's such a great piece
Yeah.
of story work for this movie.
Yeah. I agree. I will agree to disagree on the knowing about the husband situation,
Hmm.
because I think that is what gives her the stones to let the hacker boy free later. Like, knowing that
Oh,
she
sure.
killed him and he had a kid at home, because she's psychic, so she gets the good side of that guy who was trying to kill her
Hmm.
by viewing it through the wife's lens. And
Right.
then when she meets up with the hacker kid later, all she sees is his trauma. And it's like, no,
That's true.
he's literally a victim.
Yeah.
So, and
He's another
I
victim of
one of my
Mama.
yeah, like one of my favorite lines that she has is, that might be the one bit of difference I make today.
That's
Like,
true. That's a good point. I think you might be bringing me around on that. It just, it feels like there, to me, my knee jerk reaction to that scene was, so much of this movie doesn't
it's
feel,
tropish. And
yeah,
then,
like it doesn't feel tropish. It doesn't feel like it's kind of going for that gut punch. It, and
mhm.
that's the only scene that's sort of like, ah, man, like, all right, like I get it, but did you really need to do that? But I can agree with you. I think
I
you're
love the
bringing me
fact that
around
she
on it.
gets out of it by like pressing the buzzer and being like, Kathy, open the door. Kathy,
Hmm.
open the door.
It's a really good, like, I know your name. Like,
Mhm.
let's get in here. Um,
I they make their way up the elevator. They start making plans and stuff like that. When
mm,
they get further up, I I wrote, Dredd is judging the rookie for the decisions that they are making. I couldn't help it. I had to make that joke to myself.
excuse me.
Um, and then this is where he leaves the rookie behind in the elevator shaft.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
and he goes and starts to, because they get locked down on level 76.
Hmm. Yep.
And this is the minigun scene.
God, what a great scene, man. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
just like it I it's really easy to probably do this scene wrong, but just the amount of people that die in this scene is incredible. And it's not even like, it's just random people being like, "Hey, what's going on?" Blah.
Mm-hmm.
I bought my
And
groceries.
it's
Blah.
like
How?
people inside. It's
Yeah,
literally like four, I think it's what, three or four really high power 50 cal would be my guess, miniguns,
it
just
seems like it.
chewing through this
Just
entire
dumping.
complex.
Yeah, just like, and like she knows about where he is, and she's just boring holes through these walls. Like, it does not
Mm-hmm.
matter what is in between. There's that really, really great shot where they do a lot of great work where the camera is like on the floor of the first floor, pointing up that shaft towards the
And you see
roof.
the bullets going
You know,
across
you
the
see the
traces.
bullets going like, at an angle across. Like, there's some really great shots like that of just like, yeah, these three people are just dumping hundreds and hundreds of bullets into whatever is between her and Dredd.
Yep. And I like the fact that Dredd panics. Like, he's never
Yes.
outwardly panicking, but he's very clearly like, oh no, this is gonna kill me. Like, this is
Yeah.
legit me dead if this stuff hits me.
Yep.
And he ends up making his way in the dust and the rubble back to the rookie for the interrogation scene in the classroom, which is like him trying like look, if we would have killed you, we would have already been out the door by now.
Right.
Like nothing would have happened. So
Yep.
what's the big secret? And Anderson is like, dude, let me do this.
Yeah,
Let
I got
me
it. Don't
handle this.
we don't even need to talk. I'll figure it out. Don't even worry.
And then you get the. I love this scene because there's a lot of good to be said about this, but her going inside of his head
Yep.
is a really great scene. I also do like the fact that she constantly messes with him, like, oh, he's going to go for your gun. Oh, wait, no, now he changed his mind.
Yep.
And
that
like,
little
when,
flash of that effect is just like, nah, he figured not to.
Yeah, when we missed the part where he's talking about how most mutants have like 3 legs or whatever when he's talking to her. And he's like, no, if I wanted to, like, if I was going to mess with you, I'd be thinking of something like this. And it's the explicit scene.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, shocker, I've never seen all hair that before.
Right. Yeah, it's just like, society. Oh, yeah, wow. Oh, so shocking. Oh, my.
I do like the fact that he says, no, if I wanted to shock you, I'd think of this. It doesn't show you what he's thinking of, and she just smacks him in the face. It's like,
yep.
What was that? It must have been horrible. I don't want to think about it anymore. Thank you. But no, the scene where she's in his head is so good, where she's
it's like, really good.
Welcome to the inside of your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little empty in here.
And the thing that I like the most out of Olivia's acting is her confidence turns on a dime right here. As soon as she's in his head, she's in her element, and like she's immediately 100% confident of like, this is where I belong and this is what I'm good at. The shooting at the guns and the running and like all that stuff, that's not the stuff that I'm good at. I'm gonna mess your life up. Let's go do it. And I love
the fact that like he's like, if I wasn't handcuffed, it's like, dude, you're in your head. You don't have to.
And his hands are just like, what? And like this resulting like Kamehameha blasts meeting and the middle pushing back and forth element here of just like, well, you're in my head, so now I can do this. And she's like, that's cool, yeah. And he's like, well, what if I force you to do this? And she's like, that's great. I'm over here now. Nightmare time. That little shot
with the mama moment is just
just like the shot of her appearing over his shoulder of just like, hi there, it's bad times now. Like,
really smart play here though. In his head, she lets him use the lawgiver. Really clever play.
Oh man, I didn't even catch that. That's really good.
That's really smart
good
play.
Yep.
Because she knows what it does. Dredd knows what it does. He probably doesn't know what it does.
Right. That's really good. Man. This movie's
that
good.
will leap back right at the end.
Yep. Yeah. That whole scene is really good. And then I like when it snaps back to the real world and he's just peeing himself. Like it's just things went really bad in there the entire time and it's all the way bad.
Yeah, and this is where we learn about slow-mo is the new hotness. Mama controls the supply, distribution, manufacture, the whole ordeal.
Yeah, she's making it in peach trees. Like that's the biggest thing coming out. I like that Dredd's reaction is, like it's very much the Witcher moment of just a grunt carries a lot of weight there.
And that's what the 2 kids scene, because this is where the 2 kids show up.
Okay, I really love these 2 kids. They're just you shoot him. No, I'm not going to shoot. Why did you shoot him? Why did we have to find him? I guess we gotta go. Like it's just the little bit of comedic relief there of just these 2 kids just being like, man, we just had a real bad day here. Man, why did we have to...
I love the fact that Dredd says to them, is it going to be body bags or juvie cubes? You decide.
It's really good.
It's really good. This, of course, is when, Kay gets the drop on Anderson, pulls Anderson into the elevator and goes straight to floor 200.
Yep.
And Dredd gets left alone to deal with the chaos of the people searching for him in the rubble. Which one of my favorite shots is when he comes strolling out of that smoke with
Just
Mama
his
looking
silhouette.
on,
Yeah.
and like throws head number one guy over the balcony, and then just turn around and walks straight back into the smoke.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, dude.
It's a really good moment of like, I'm not playing around either anymore. Like, I'm coming for you.
And yeah, this is the PA scene where Dredd gets on the PA instead.
This is really. There's only like 2 PA scenes in this movie, and I like that Mama in her scene is almost like bored of it. Like she knows she's gonna win, and it's just like, all right, man,
It's a
how's
matter
everyone
of fact
doing?
for her.
Yeah, it's just like, I control
For
peach
her,
trees, whatever.
It's a Tuesday.
One might say. Yeah.
One might say, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, for Dredd, this whole it's so good. It's delivered so well. I love the framing of it, where it's like 3/4 of a metal sheet, which is like the phone booth PA system he's using. Then literally like you see the smallest sliver of the top half of his helmet, and it's just his mouth in the entire third section of that frame.
It's really
speaking
good.
into the microphone, and this is where we do get the "I am the law," and his delivery is so good.
I think it's really good because it's factual. He is not there to like.
He's not angry. He's not yelling.
And from like a movie perspective, he's not trying to make a soundbite, and he's not trying to be Stallone, and he's not trying to cut a trailer or anything. And for anyone, I'm like not trying to be pessimistic about movie making or anything, but I know, just like when you make an album, it's like you got to make one single, And I like that he's just like, you're not following the law. I am the law. Like, it's just delivered of like, these are the facts. I am the law. I'm coming for you. So.
He rope-a-dopes them with the incendiary rounds, which, my word, another one of those great shots looking up as he sets the entire group of people on fire who shoot the dead body in the booth.
It's really good.
And yeah, Mama says call 911.
Which is like really not the thing that I was expecting to happen.
Which we should mention, we have had they have had the hole blown in the side of the building. They went out, they called in the judges on the fire.
Man, what a great shot of them looking in the skate park, like 200 floors, like
on the side of a building.
Yeah, like 150 floors up. I really love the shot of them looking back through that hole, and the both of them realizing at the same time, like, man, we got to go back in there. Like, that's a really great shot of like, oh boy, it's really not over. Okay, like pull up the pants, let's go.
In that same sequence, there's that shot of Anderson looking outside, and it's like, there's a block, there's a block, there's a block, there's a block. Even if we make it through today, look at all of this which awaits. Like, this is day one of endless toll and pain.
Welcome to the
so
force.
Good. But yeah, anyway, yeah, she says call 911 because there's 2 judges waiting for the doors to open because they've had we're having an error right now. We can't open the doors. That's right.
I can't lift the war thing. Sorry, software problem. That's a scene I think too with the knife in the belly button while he's talking, which is just horrible. No, thank you. Don't do that.
I hate that.
That's not where that goes.
Because it's the curved knife as well.
Yeah,
it's not a nice looking knife. No, it's a nasty looking knife.
All the way in there, man.
But then you get the shot of the 4 judges rumbling up.
There's a pretty cool shot. There's a couple good shots here with the judges on the outside of this building.
I wrote judge on judge crime. Right.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. So yeah, like the 4 judges show up. They walk in. They're like, "So what do you think? 2 judges caught in the crossfire, gang war, whatever. Perps happened right here." I'm like, "Yeah, it sounds about right to me." And the medical guy walks out. I was like, "No, that's not how it happens." I can tell you how it
excuse
happens.
me, pardon me. That's not what happened.
You want to testify to that? Yeah. pow, straight
Yep.
in the kisser.
Yep.
Like, sorry, dude. Like, that's real bad.
Yep. There have to be
And
bad
yeah,
judges somewhere.
yep. And this is where this is my judge on Judge Crime Note, because this is the three of them hunting Dredd while the lady judge goes to go and take care of the rookie.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, choke on that is a great line as he
Yep.
crushes that guy's windpipe.
Oh man.
Because
They-
this is where the instincts thing is, where he's like,
yeah.
wait, why didn't you ask about two of us? You only asked about me.
Hmm.
Why aren't you asking about the other judge?
Yep.
And then so he just pops him one. It's great.
Yep. There's a lot of really good shots in this, and there's a lot of really good action in this of just judges kind of doing what they do really well. I do like the judges talking to Mama and being like, "Yeah, 1,000,000. That seems about fair." And I like that she's like, 1,000,000 is too much. And he goes, "Do you know who you have down there?" And she
I do.
hesitates for like half a second. She's like, "No." It's like, come on, man. Of course you do.
Because yeah, and he's like, I do. I know exactly who we're going after. It's
Yep.
1,000,000.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, I do like a lot of the sequences here. I do like a lot of the shots of the judges fighting together. I think there's a lot of good stuff there.
You also get the make her dead line, which is a great line. And Kay goes to try and kill her, and of course, because it's Kay, he has to use the lawgiver. This ain't no Blade 2. He loses an arm.
Yep.
And she, like, this is, I think this is, like you said, I think the moment where she breaks him by going into his head, I think that is when her confidence flips. I think that, I think even outside of it, that's when she starts to gain confidence and starts to feel better about what she's doing. Because she kicks literally one kick to the head to Kay while he's in the middle with a busted arm.
Yep.
And it's amazing. And then she's out of the clip. She's dealing with the people in the corridors. She gets the SMG. Because like in Moron, I'm thinking, well, why didn't you use your lawgiver? It's like, because it literally explodes. It isn't a case of
it's not there anymore. Like,
it's a grenade essentially.
Yeah.
And like, she steals that guy's SMG, and when the female judge goes to get her, the female judge is like, look, I'll find her. She identifies herself. I identify myself. I shoot her. She identifies herself. I don't identify myself. She hesitates. I shoot her. And then they meet in the corridor, and she's like, hi, I'm your backup. And it does the mind wibbly effect, and then she's just like, see ya.
Yeah, like that. Just immediately, she's like, nope. It's really good.
It's so good. And then
Yeah.
we get the meat grinder speech, which I really do like. Like the leader of the bad judges against Dredd.
He's like pretty good in that role of just like, I've seen a lot of stuff, man, and he
could have probably pulled off Dredd. He could have been Dredd.
And I like the realities of it, of just like, man, you know what I've seen? You've been doing it too. I can get a payday. All you're doing is getting me a better cut at this point. And you want to sit there and you want to talk a lot of business, you're also the one out of ammo.
It's so good because he uses the high X, which again, rated R for a reason, folks. By the way.
Yep.
He shoots through the wall, which is a really good shot of him, just like his body armor just going boop a little bit, and it's like,
well, it's really good because the bad judge knows he's there, and I like that he's not in a hurry. He's just blat, like he's taking spaced shots to try and find Dredd, and he hit the last bullet. He hits him, and it's like, there he is. I got him. Like, he's not really worried about anything.
Yeah. And Dredd's like, wait. And then he monologues like a moron.
This speech is actually really good of like, oh, so now that the law's coming down to you, now you want to wait. How many people did you let wait? Blah, blah, blah. Whoops, I got shot.
What, wait for me to show mercy? No, wait for her to shoot you.
It's really good.
It's so good. And then the field dressing scene where he like pulls his little backpack off his little thing and starts he does the automatic staples, which gross me out so much.
It's
The,
really rough, man.
the ones that tighten as after
Yeah.
it's all put in place, it's
Ha.
gross.
Ha.
And
Technology.
I love this callback though, where the only thing left to do is go to Mama's place,
Yep.
and he's just got his field dressing done, and he's like, "So, are you ready?" And she's like, "Yep, I'm ready." He's like, "You look ready,"
Mm-hmm.
compared to the start where you don't look ready. Oh, it's adrenaline and all that jazz.
Yep.
And they go up, they find the iTech nerd, and she lets the iTech nerd go. And I
Yep.
love the fact that she stands up to Dredd here. She's like, "This is my assessment. Until the
Yep.
assessment is formally finished, I still have the right to perform the sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
I realize I failed anyway because I have lost my primary firearm.
Yep.
So who cares at this point
Yeah,
what
I've
you
already
think of me?"
failed, so let me make a difference.
Yeah, and like he's like, "Are you sure about that?" And she's like, "Yeah, it might be the only difference I make today." And it's
Mm-hmm.
such a good line,
Yep.
good moment, because she gets the psychic flashes of the eye scene and everything else, and the knife scene and all of the other crap he's being put through.
Yeah.
And then yeah, they storm the castle, and it's a really good sequence of them just literally going through the corridors of Mama's penthouse, taking everybody out. And
Yep.
you don't even see half of it. You see them go in a door, shoot a bunch, and then come out of the door. You don't see what or who or anything like
No.
that. It's just muzzle flashes, and then they're
Yep.
moving on, doing the tap on the shoulder, clear corridor thing.
Yeah. It's all
It's really
business,
good.
and they're just executing at this point. No
Mhm.
pun intended. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so good. And then you get Mama's Last Stand,
Yeah.
which is the heartbeat detonator that she has. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, if you kill me, the top 50 floors go boom, which is enough to take down the entire building.
Yep.
And I love the Dredd. I don't know if he had thought this through. I don't know if he's encountered a situation like this before, where he's like, "You think that thing's going to broadcast through 200 floors of solid concrete?"
Yep. Let's find
Like,
out.
like, let's check. And he does the whole sentencing, crimes, everything
Yeah.
else like that, and then says goodbye bye to Mama.
Yep. Just yeets her.
Gives her a shot of the slow mo on the way down too, just for
Yep.
comeuppance, maybe.
I feel like it's probably like a little bit of comeuppance, and I think probably a little bit of revenge also, of just like, you ruined
Look
my
what you made me do.
entire day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this could have been a fine day. I could have done a lot. You just ruined my day. I'm going to let you smush your face on the floor.
Uh-huh. And yeah, then they break the lockdown. Turns out it
Yep.
doesn't blow up the ceiling or anything like that. I like the fact that in the whole ruckus, Anderson did get shot, and then
Yes.
she just wakes up to him like patching her up in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave, and the Chief Justice is right there,
Yep.
like waiting for them as they leave.
Yeah, she's
And
like, I thought
he
I'd come by and
passes
see
her.
how the rookie was. How'd it go?
Like, he passes her. She
Yep.
hands her badge in, but he does give her the pass.
Yep.
There is no BS, no speech, no "you changed me," no none of that stuff. It's just
Yeah,
like,
thank
no.
goodness.
Technically, she failed, but he's going to give her a pass because he probably seen that she can make a difference.
Yep.
And during the closing monologue, you actually see her leaving again in her uniform to go get on her bike to continue to do the next day's worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a nice touch. You never outright say, but it's her silhouette leaving with the helmet under her
Yep.
arm as she's going to get on the bike.
Yep. And I like the kind of send off from him too, of like, oh, it was a drug bust gone wrong. It's fine now. Don't worry about it. Like, it's just another day at the office. Dredd will be back at it tomorrow after, a nice hot shower and a nice calming night's sleep. And then they just, like the last movie, that's the end of the movie. I like that it's a day in the life of the judges, and tomorrow will be another adventure.
Yep. So, Boston,
Yeah,
how do you feel about Dredd 2012?
I liked it a lot. I it's interesting to see this movie lean way more into the violence of it,
Uh-huh.
which we obviously didn't see in the previous one, um, but lean a lot less into the comedic aspects of it and lean more into the kind of satire of it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's as nakedly a satire movie as the previous one is, but it definitely kind of carries that satire torch from the source work itself. Um, as usual, Carl Urban is great. He
Yeah.
does a lot with a very, very little in this movie.
Like you said, he might not have even been the natural choice for this, but
Mhm.
he knocks it out the park.
I feel like he gets it. You know, like
Yeah.
it's not about him as the
It's not about the
character.
actor.
Yeah, it's about the character. It's about the helmet. You know, like more than anything else. It's about the helmet and the gun and the law. Like it's not about I'm Carl Urban. Welcome to Judge Dredd.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's nothing like that. And I think Olivia Thirlby does great. Lena Headey does great. There's like nobody. There's like four characters in this movie, and they're all really, really good. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it's just it is a really solid satirical action movie that is violent as hell and wastes no time, and it's like 93-minute runtime. And then it like gets in, it tells the story, it does everything really well, and it gets the hell out. And
Yeah.
it's I really, really like it.
Yeah. So I do too. Bump out right here to say IMDb gives this a 7.1 out of 10.
Yeah, I was just about
Uh,
to pull that up. Yeah.
Tomato Meter gives it a 79% and an audience score of 72%.
Probably a little bit lower than I would give it. I'd probably give it in like the 8 and 8.5 range.
Me too, to be honest. For me, this is an 8. This is an 8.5 or a 9. Like this is
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies. I I don't know why. I just love it so much. So the negative thing is we'll never see a sequel to this.
No, I mean, we might see a sequel in like 10 more years as this moves into more of like a cult favorite uh, um, kind of
Yeah.
realm. Like it seems like it's kind of solidly getting into. Seems like everybody that has seen it that would like it has liked it.
Yeah.
If you don't watch a lot of more violent things, or if you don't watch stuff that is maybe not like the summer blockbuster movie of the year, you
Uh-huh.
might not like this. But I could see in maybe like 10 more years, Carl Urban pushing as executive producer to make another one of these things starring somebody different.
So he has requested and pushed several times if there
Mm,
ever is a Judge Dredd thing getting made, you let me know.
I'm
I
your
will
guy.
happily come back and be Judge Dredd again
Sure.
because until it came out this year, I think the Uncharted movie was essentially shopped
Yeah.
around and ghosted, and you heard about it for the past
Development
15
hell.
years.
Yeah.
So Dredd is in that similar situation because there has been a TV show written and ready to go,
Wow.
apparently,
Right.
for about 7 years.
Okay.
And it's called, they're trying to call it Mega City 1. And it's a TV show about Judge Dredd and
Wow.
his day to day business in Mega City 1.
I would watch that.
It's not been picked up. It's being floated
Yeah.
around places to places. Netflix were thinking about getting it at some point, and then somebody else was. I'm sorry, but as much as I hate our corporate overlords, I think a perfect place for this would be Amazon Prime. You literally have the boys
Right.
right there,
You like
waiting to
that
go.
Carl Urban? We got more of him over here.
I didn't even make that connection that he's
Yeah.
also in the boys.
Yep.
But stick it on Amazon Prime. You've shown
Yep.
with the boys that an R-rated TV show that goes deep into darkness
Yep.
can do well. And Judge Dredd is a perfect example of something that can do that on a week-by-week basis. Like, I
Yeah.
think it would be great.
Yep. Someday.
Give me a TV show.
Yeah. I'd like to hold out hope that someday this would. I wasn't expecting us to get another Dredd thing after Judge Dredd, especially not a 3D one. But
Which
maybe
3D
someday.
didn't really come into effect that much. Like, mostly the slow-mo scenes is where I'm thinking it was probably used.
Yeah, it's probably pretty cool though. I bet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts here about Judge Dredd and Dredd? Do you want to? Which one do you like better? I'm gonna assume Dredd.
Yes, I like
Okay.
Dredd more. Like, Dredd is just stylized alone. It's one of my favorite movies. Like, the costuming in one is incredible, but hey, look, he has actual armor in this movie.
Right.
You know, not just shoulder pads and a leotard.
That's right. I feel the same way. I feel it's kind of interesting because I feel like they're kind of two sides of the same coin, where they're almost kind of two sort of different but kind of similar readings of the source material. I don't think one is better than the other. They're very different, but I think Dredd by itself is a really, really solid movie. I have very, very little to say negatively about that movie. I'd definitely watch that again. It'd be great.
Yeah, I adore her. And like I don't know, everyone acts the hell out of it. Everyone is so good. Like, this is one of those movies where like the cast do not overtake the film.
Yeah.
And like, it's good to see that these people can come in, do the job, and not have to be, you know, the hottest hotness. Like,
Right.
Sly taking off his helmet it kills me every time. He
Yep.
spends 90% of the movie without the helmet on, dude.
It's true. Goodness. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and thank you for tuning in for season 15. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.